welcome... What the hell was that? Welcome back! It's been a little while since we've checked in on the Middle-earth strategy battle game, but we have to take a look at something today because we have two new all-time great entries in the good boys list of Games Workshop miniatures. These are some of the best dogs I've ever seen, and I want them. I want them now. They look fantastic. Let's take a glance. As it says here, Evil returns to Middle-earth with the War Drakes of Rhûn and the Umbar Ballista. The Ballista's fine. What we're really here for are these goodest of boys. Look at those lads. I absolutely love these. I have no idea why, but they have immediately become one of my favourite, just creature sculpts. I don't know how else to phrase it. They look fantastic. They're a little bit chunky. They're a little bit cheeky. They've got some really nice scale work going on. I like the armour over the head and across the neck and I was going to say the carapace. They haven't really got a carapace, but you know what I mean. The bit above the body, there, the spine, I suppose. That's probably what that's called. Wow, that mangled intro has really, really badly affected my ability to work out what I'm trying to say. That has caused issues, and I don't know what to do about it. Anyway, back to the doggos. I don't know, I just really like these. I think they look fantastic. There's a lot of personality in them. They also look... What's the phrase I'm looking for? Due to the scaling and the differing style of the Middle-earth miniatures that Games Workshop makes, they look more real. They look more lifelike than, say, a lot of the Age of Sigmar stuff does. Now, that's not a criticism of the Age of Sigmar stuff. I love the Age of Sigmar range as a whole. It's fantastic, and God knows there are plenty of miniatures in that range that I have thirsted or just lusted over because of how fun and different they are. But it is super interesting to go from, say the stuff for the wizard lizards. You've still got some fairly reasonably sort of inspired by real life stuff in there, but these are on another level of that altogether. I could see these existing. I could see these just being a real thing. Admittedly, maybe not with the armour, unless you did capture one, treat it as a pet, and give it some armour. But, I don't know, there's just something quite lifelike about them, and I really, really like that. I think also because of the colour schemes that they've used, they've gone for quite subdued, quite kind of grounded colours, which really enhances just how much like actual creatures they look. I'm really liking them. Really, really liking them. The fact that you got a different option with the heads, so you've got the one with the mouth open so you can see all the horrible spiky teeth, but then also one with it closed. It gives it more sort of a more of like an aggressive snout look on the one, whereas the other one, it just looks fully like he's about to bite your leg off. Oh, I'm liking them a lot. Also, the little bits of plated armour that have gone over the front legs and are sort of tied on with that red cloth, that is very cool. I'm not sure why, but that just adds a huge amount to them. It just gives them another little point of interest, another little detail to focus on, and I feel like it really draws your eye to the front of it. It makes it look a lot more purposeful, whereas I think without that, they'd still look good, but they wouldn't look quite as aggressive as they do currently. Admittedly, they do look pretty aggressive because they're big scaly lizards with horrible needle teeth, but there's just something about those that just adds a little bit extra. I love this picture. Look at that good lad. Look at him go. Oh, yeah. That is a fella who is absolutely deserving of a tactical rock. I'm not going to complain about a tactical rock for that guy. It looks fantastic. That is the most photogenic, heroic-looking armoured lizard that I think you can get, just in general. I mean, it's right up there. It's all the way up there. So these are basically just venomous lizards. That's pretty much it. That's what you're getting. They're fantastic and I love them. Now, there is something else in this article that's really kind of interesting, and that is the fact that there is a mix right here of old and new Middle-earth sculpts. And it really, obviously you can tell that Games Workshop's craft, so to speak, has gotten better over the years, right? As technology has got better, so the detail of the sculpts has got better. And you can see that, you can chart it. And they're producing some of, if not the best miniatures they've ever made these days. And nothing highlights that more, I think, than when you look at much older Lord of the Rings stuff compared to much newer, because the scale is different. The scale is different. They also tend to go for more... It's more grounded. So you haven't got things like power armor, you don't have stuff like Stormcast. You know, if you're looking at, say your regular human fighter of some kind, quite often in like Age of Sigmar and Fantasy, that might be a fully armoured guy, or a fully armoured dwarf, or some sort of lithe, overly delicate elf-like figure, or someone who follows Khorne and is absolutely jacked like you wouldn't believe. But with the Lord of the Rings stuff, again, it tends to be that bit more grounded, which means that when you see different kind of eras of miniatures, good lord, does the improvement become massively obvious. So we've got this ballista, right? Got a nice bigger picture there, and it looks good, and the people around it look absolutely fantastic. That guy's arms are insane. Look how big the arms are. That is a guy who works out, I'm going to suggest, at least 8 hours a day. But only the arms. Just the arms. Nowhere else. I mean, how heavy are the ballista bolts? If it has to be that absolutely, like, packed full of muscle just to pick up one of those bolts, imagine what it's like getting hit by one. It must be like getting hit by a car, just with a sharp bit attached to the front of it. Good grief. Anyway, we can see there's like a really nice texture on the wood. The metal on the ballista looks fantastic as well. The cloth is really nicely done, nicely laid. You've got a really good mix of materials. You've got some metals in there as well. The skin looks good. The hair looks great. This is a nice little kit, right? And nothing really highlights that more than when you scroll down. Because here we have some returning miniatures, and I mean, the difference... It's extreme. It's pretty extreme. Like, these aren't bad, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and go, these are absolutely terrible. I can't believe they ever sold them. But the difference between these three and those three is absolutely incredible. Like, it highlights just the improvements that have been made over the years so clearly. Like, I'm not even sure when these came out, right? I wouldn't like to put a date on it because I'd imagine I would be wrong, but these are clearly from a while ago. Quite a while ago, judging by the look of them, and it's just super interesting to see how much things have changed. Like, everything about the new ones is just so much more crisp. It's so much more clean. There's so much more detail packed in, and that detail is far more finely sculpted, right? Even down to things like the wood texture on that ballista. If you then look at the wood texture on the crossbows there, I mean, you can't, there isn't any. There just isn't. It's just, here's the shape of the thing. Now, of course, it could be, finely crafted crossbow. You might not want any wood texture on it. But there is just such a major difference when it comes to the overall definition of everything involved with these. It just kind of made me go, oh man, I mean, we already know, we already know that they've got so much better, but every now and again, you'll get something, and something else that's good for this is the old world, is when they're like, here's a new thing, and here's some returning things, and it just hammers home how good we have it now when it comes to their miniatures and their design work. Anyway, something of a tangent, I was originally just excited about new doggos, but I'd scrolled down and then I was like, oh, look at that. Look at the difference. Look how insane that is. Anyway, there you go. The doggos were the main point, but there was a little bit of extra there as well. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to click all the things, and I will see you for the next one.